What is up, y'all? I am Ant, and I'm joined by my friend. Introduce yourself, brother.
That's Josh from Sharpshooters and Stunners. Glad to be back here doing another Raw is War.
Yeah, back in 1998, dude. I wish it was 1998. I wish our biggest problem was what was on Monica's dress, man. That to me, when that was the biggest problem in the world's good, you know? Uh, but yeah, we're living in a dangerous time right now. A lot's been
You know how
happening.
messed up that whole situation was? You know, my school district put over the intercom. What's his name? Oh man.
Bill.
No. Saddam Hussein's thoughts on the whole Bill Clinton sleeping with his intern
No.
statements over the intercom in an elementary school.
In elementary
In
school.
elementary school.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
See, but you know what though, Josh? I feel like people like you're older than me a little bit, but like people like our age, like we know how to deal with shit. When you were in
Mhm.
elementary school and you got Saddam Hussein's and like, my goodness, what did he say? Was he happy?
If they did that today, everybody would have
Oh,
been. It was so scarring.
oh my goodness. No, I remember when 9/11 happened and I was like in second grade and they closed all the blinds and they were like, somebody doesn't like us and they're coming. I'm like in second grade. I'm like, thanks. I'm like, I have PTSD from that situation. I mean, holy cannoli. Yeah, so there's a lot happening in the wrestling world today with Vince retiring and Stephanie and Nick Khan being co-owners. Shane McMahon's out there probably trying to use a little life jacket and make his way back on the island. But yeah, there's a lot happening. Triple H is back as executive vice producer of talent or something.
Yeah, vice president of talent.
He took over.
It was also announced today that he is taking over creative.
Ooh, that's interesting. Breaking news here. See, so he's pretty much taking over Jim Ross's job from like way back when. He's pretty much going to be good. Cool. Well, that's cool. I mean, I know we have different thoughts about NXT, but I really liked what he did down there. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to take a trip back to 1998. We're going to forget 2022 for a little bit. And we are going to Raw is War from March 30th, the day after WrestleMania. And this is like the first Raw after Mania that was prominent. This was must-see TV at the time. I'm looking through my notes, and a lot happened this episode. They're live in Albany, New York, and they start out with Vince McMahon coming out with the new WWF title belt. For those of you who didn't check it out, check us out in the archives. WrestleMania 14 was just dropped. Our episode was released a couple of days ago, so check that out. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeats Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. The Austin era officially begins. And Vince comes out, and Vince says, I am pleased to present to you the new WWF champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Stone Cold comes out, he grabs the title, and he poses with it on the ropes. And Vince says, I want to clear up some misunderstandings about things, I might have said in the past. Vince says, the truth is, I am proud of you becoming WWF champion. I'm proud of you to represent my company. Then he goes, together, Mr. Austin, with my vision and my mental powers, and with your physical strength and capability, one day you might become the greatest WWF champion of all time. Stone Cold takes the mic and says, let's cut the BS. He's like, I know you hate me. That's okay. I hate you right back. Which, I mean, who wouldn't want to tell their boss I hate them? He goes, there's no way. Wait, there's no way. Oh, sorry. By the way, just so you can see my handwriting, I don't know if you can see. It's very sloppy. You can't see it. He says, basically, what you see is what you get with Stone Cold. I'm not going to become a company guy. I'm going to be out here drinking beer. I'm not going to change for anybody. And he goes, if you don't like what you see, it's too bad. And then Vince says, I don't hate Stone Cold. I find you to be a swell guy. And Stone Cold says, Vince, repeat what you just said. Because Vince
he said, I love you.
I love you. Yes, I love you. He says, I love you. And then he says, repeat it. And then Vince says, I love you. He says it again. And then Stone Cold tells Vince, say what you said in the microphone before I crack it up your head. And then he says it again. And then Vince says, I love you too. Vince says, I ain't going to do things your way. I'm going to give you gray hairs every single day while I'm champion. Nobody tells Stone Cold what to do. And that's the bottom line. And then Vince says, well, Stone Cold, here's the thing. We could do things the easy way or we can do things the hard way. And that's something that Vince says a lot this year. Stone Cold then says, Vince, well, what's your definition of the hard way and what's your definition of the easy way? Vince says, well, the easy way is to adapt, try to be in the business sense of being a champion. The hard way is pretty much being forced into doing what I want, he tells Stone Cold. And Stone Cold says, well, he's like, give me 10 seconds to think of a decision. And then Stone Cold nails Vince McMahon with a stunner. And Stone Cold says, what you've seen me doing, what you just saw was me doing things the hard way. And I'm so sorry, my handwriting is sloppy. So Stone Cold says, fuck you, Vince. I'm the new champion, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm still going to be drinking beer. I'm still going to be who I am. I'm never going to go corporate. I'm never going to join you. Go F yourself, sir. And he lays him out with a stunner. What did you think? This is like what, the third stunner that Vince has, or second? I don't know how many stunners it's been.
This is the second.
Second, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you think? I mean, this is first time seeing him as champion. Do you like this? Him still fighting with Vince?
I liked it. I like the foreshadowing and the future telling that Vince was doing, because I think you can arguably say that Stone Cold is the greatest WWE champion of all time.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, to say something like that early and have it come true, like, man, a lot of foreshadowing there.
Yeah.
This is the kickstart to probably the greatest, in my opinion. I know A&E's doing that rivalry series, and they got Stone Cold and The Rock as the greatest WWE rivalry of all time. But man, I think I understand why they have it as Austin Rock because of all the stuff happening with Vince. But in my opinion, this rivalry is the greatest of all time.
Yeah. I think, like, because I always like to think to my, like, I was watching the Bellas Wins, the whole legend thing. And they were talking about like 2000 and like 2006 and the wrestlers and stuff like that. And I feel like anybody who knows WWE will know this. They will know Stone Cold doesn't like Vince. Vince doesn't like Stone Cold. And it just makes sense. Like it wasn't as stupid. As a kid, you love it. As an adult, you love it. Because it's something fun. As a kid, oh, look, he's drinking beer and stunning somebody. It's funny. As an adult, my boss sucks. I wish I could be Stone Cold and could stun my boss. So it made sense for everybody. I think this was the best rivalry because it was like years and years. Every time Stone Cold comes back, it's a never-ending story, and that's what's great about it. I like when they do random Royal Rumble 2018 when Mickey and Trish was in the ring together and they didn't say anything. They sort of just looked at each other and the fans went nuts because we know the history. So it was like, yes, they're back. I think fans will do that with this. I'm surprised A&E didn't pick this one, but you're right. Probably with Vince, everything going on. It's just dumb. But yeah, no, this made the Attitude Era. I know a lot of people are going to say like the wrestlers, they did. A lot of the wrestlers did, but this storyline, people were just going there to see Stone Cold, just like they were going there to see Sable.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy. Stone Cold's like my favorite, so more power to you, Austin. After that, we see Vince McMahon. He's having trouble leaving the ring, acting like he's like injured. And then we see Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe tend to Vince McMahon backstage. So we're starting to see the Stooges come out. Which, question for you, were you like, for me, for example, when I saw Patterson and Briscoe, I knew they were wrestlers, but my first interaction with them was them being the Stooges. Did you like know how big not that they were huge, but
so
like,
as somebody who grew up mostly watching, like I didn't know anything outside of WWE until like 92, 93.
Yeah.
Everything I knew from there, like when Ric Flair showed up in '92, that was when I was like, oh, well, if there's other wrestling out there, maybe I should go find it. And I found it with WCW. But I knew Pat Patterson had been a wrestler before because my dad had a whole lot of stuff recorded from prior and all that stuff. I've seen the clips of Pat Patterson and Sergeant Slaughter in the early '80s when their no holds barred match that they had. So I knew Pat Patterson. I didn't know who Gerald Briscoe was. I had no idea because he never really worked in the Northeast at that time. Before then, it was all
like South, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
so he was very much an NWA guy prior to that. So I had no idea who these guys were.
So you're like, these guys are just pretty much Vince's lackeys. Yeah, that's kind of how I started with them. I saw them as working for Vince, and then I learned Pat was an Intercontinental champion, Briscoe was a tag champion, whatever. All right. Now we have Los Boricuas taking on LOD 2000 with Sonny. And we were just talking about this probably being the most I don't want to say like sexiest, but like, this is probably the most popular version of Sonny that people will remember as her coming out with that warrior outfit. So this is a quick match between LOD and Los Boricuas. Animal nails a power slam, and LOD nail a quick doomsday device to get a 3. And then actually I was wrong. They come out as Legion of Doom, but then afterwards, after the match, Sonny confirms that the team's name is Legion of Doom 2000. So what do you think of the name change? You think it made any difference? I mean,
at least they didn't do like the new Legion of Doom. They had the tendency to do that at this point. They did it with the Rockers. They did it with the Blackjacks. They did it with a lot of different teams. I'm glad they didn't. So it was very interesting. And it's kind of a new look. If you ever watch any of the AWA Road Warriors stuff, Hawk kind of goes back to that classic face paint he used to have.
Okay.
He doesn't keep that face paint long. I think we're within a few weeks he goes back to the more recognizable with the black and red.
Yep.
But that the face paint he's got in this episode is the face paint he used to have back in the day in the AWA. I thought it was interesting, kind of a different look to them. I think Sonny added a lot in the presentation. I don't like where it headed later on in the year, but I thought this was good.
I wish though that something I do wish that they did that they do a lot of now is they feature a lot of them. So like, again, I have to believe that they were featured a lot more on like not like they were in matches, but like the backstage stuff was featured more on Superstars, because like for me, like even in October where I'm at now, like they're doing a huge feud with DOA, and like for weeks nothing's been going on, and then like 6 days before the pay-per-view, like, oh yeah, we got a 6-man tag match coming up between these guys, and I'm like, wait, when did this storyline develop? So I think for me, it's hard for, like I've told you, it's hard for me to really get into LOD because all I've really seen for them is them getting beat pretty much every time they're in WWE by New Age Outlaws or by whoever. So I wish I could see more of them just being powerhouses, but I guess this quick 2-minute match can just sum up how powerful they are, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, but Legion of Doom 2000, cool. So Kevin Kelly is backstage, and we find out that Vince McMahon called the cops on Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he wants Stone Cold arrested right now. What a bitch. Yeah. Didn't he say last week he would beat up Stone Cold, and now he's calling the cops?
Yeah.
Vince, what's happening?
Heel, though. Like, you have that kind of power. This is a whole different, like, this opened up a whole new window. Like, I know we'll talk about how WWE beat the whole authority thing to death, but this is the first time anything like this has ever happened. Any authority figure was involved in a storyline like this. So having somebody with that kind of power be able to heal the babyface is something that was really different.
Yeah, and like what I like about that is like it's easy because this happens to everybody. We all feel like, okay, we get fucked with by our boss, then we speak up, and then what happens? We get in trouble. That's such an easy freaking thing to do, and I really like that they did it, and they made it really cool. I really, really liked it. Speaking of cool, we get a really cool Attitude Era promo from Classy Freddie Blassie, Gorilla Monsoon, Ernie Ladd. Big draws for Vince's father, and to see them come out and talk about how the generation's like moving on. It's cool to see guys like that. It's making me think of when I was little and those wrestlers. But yeah, cool promo. We then go back to Kevin Kelly again, and he says Stone Cold said he doesn't give a rat's ass about getting arrested. So at this point, Stone Cold's like, send him down. Nothing's going to happen. Next, we have Chains taking on Kurgan with Cyrus. And this is another quick match. Kurgan applies the paralyzer for the win. Then after, Kurgan drags Chains to the back. What were your thoughts on Kurgan? I mean, he starts out with the black tights and just like, meh. And then he joins
Kurgan, I think, could have been, if they utilized him more like an Andre character. I think the problem is like they would build him as this monster, but I think he might have been like legit like 6'6".
So he's on that. Yeah.
I don't think he would have measured up against like Undertaker at the time. I think he could have been utilized a little bit better. Like I wish they would have gave him like a power bomb as a finisher instead of the fucking claw. I hate the claw. There's two things about wrestling, like two finishers that they kept using for a long time that I fucking hate: the claw and the heart punch. Like, what's the point? Like, I wish I think they could have utilized him more. But if you also watch his movements in the ring and stuff, he looks very clumsy.
Yeah, he's all over.
He has very, very little coordination.
Like slowly like moving around. Yeah, Kurgan never really did it for me. None of this whole Cyrus thing, it was just kind of like, yeah.
It also didn't last long either. It's not like, so you go within like the next 3-4 months, it's the oddities.
You know, and
so,
Cyrus introduces them, then he's gone.
Yeah, well, he was originally supposed to be
they're like
Acolyte's manager, but him and Bradshaw didn't get along.
Ooh, backstage. I didn't know that.
I think Bradshaw might have got him fired.
Oh, all right. So there's heat between Bradshaw and what's his real name? I forgot already.
Don Callis.
Don Callis. That's right. Don fucking Callis. I always laugh when he's in AEW with his ugly friggin' outfits. He's looking like a piece of shit with his glasses. Anyways, all right, cool. We then get a WWF Slammers toy promo. We see Vince McMahon walking backstage with a group of police officers. So shit's going to hit the fan. Then go back down to the ring. And Tennessee Lee introduces Jeff Jarrett. We have Aguila taking on Jeff Jarrett. And Jarrett again rides on a horse to the ring. This is terrible. The poor horses, man. They don't want to be bothered. I mean, they're getting paid, but like, just trying to walk down. You got freaking blinking lights on them and shit. Like, what the fuck? Just trying to live their life. Anyways, so the match starts and Aguila nails a spinning heel kick, and then Aguila misses a moonsault. Jarrett applies the figure 4, and Aguila taps out. And then Tennessee Lee claims he has a surprise for everyone next week. After the match, Steve Blackman takes out Jeff Jarrett, and then Blackman goes to attack Tennessee Lee, but Jeff Jarrett is able to make the save and attack Blackman, leaving him laying. So what do you think of this? This is, again, more reasons for Blackman and Jarrett to fight. What do you think?
I'm not a fan of this version of Jeff Jarrett. Like I understood it, 3 years prior, 4 years prior, but man, this character seems very out of sync with what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
In the current landscape of things.
They could have had him be like, I feel like at this time, what would have been cool is if they did have Jeff Jarrett come back to do the country singer, but he was like delusional. And he's like, no, I really was the one singing. That was me. And like, he starts to become crazier maybe. And like, week by week, like he starts to cut off his little I wear that stupid little like thing with the, and then he becomes crazier. He thinks he's a crazy singer, and he's really not. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of boring. He just walks out with the horse, Tennessee Lee. Maybe they're trying to go for that. Like maybe they're trying to take a little dig at WCW for being Southern. I don't know. But you're right. It didn't match up with fucking Steve Blackman using fucking nunchucks. Then you got Jeff Jarrett coming out with a fucking horse. Like it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but I do think Jeff Jarrett will do a bit better at the end of the year. He'll get over a couple of hurdles. He's got this. His rivalry, listen, him and X-Pac, that's very
underrated.
Yes, because I was just watching it and I'm like, damn, like these guys are putting on a good match. Like, and not just the SummerSlam match. After that, too, they've had some good matches. So don't sleep on those guys. Vince is backstage again, and we then see Stone Cold getting escorted out by police. Did you think Austin was gonna be arrested at this point? This was gonna be the last of him, or did you know something else was gonna happen?
I didn't know what to expect because, like I said, this has never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not often that people got taken out in handcuffs on wrestling TV either.
Yeah.
So this was a brand new experience.
Your champion's going to jail.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be champion? What's gonna happen? Right? I mean, yeah. Okay. I feel your thought process in that moment. Well, yep. So Austin's arrested. We then get Vince, Sergeant Slaughter, and Gerald Briscoe coming out to the ring. And Vince says, I came out here because I think I owe everyone an explanation. He goes, the state of mind that Stone Cold Steve Austin is in, it's not good. So he is in a 24-hour cool-off period in a cell. He thinks that is what is needed to help Austin. He says, I gave Stone Cold a choice. Stone Cold selected his choice, and damn it, I selected mine. And can I say something? That is a good starting point for the rivalry. I feel like he made his choice. Well, damn it, I made mine. Like now we're going. Now this is it. And I like that they're doing that now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. These two are butt heads. Very cool. We then get a promo for Warzone. We're in the Warzone. I'm excited about that. More shit's gonna hit the fan. We see Triple H and China backstage, and Triple H says, the WWF as you know it comes to an X-rated end tonight. And he really meant it. He totally meant that. We then get another backstage segment with The Rock, with the Nation, and he has the new Intercontinental title. What did you think of the new belt? Did you like it? Do you miss the old one?
I'm always going to be a fan of the classic one.
Yep.
I don't know. This is just something about it. Like I even like the more detail they gave to the new one that Cody brought out in 2011 or whatever.
Yeah, where it was the gold and the white background.
Yeah. But even the plate, the main plate had a little bit more detail to it. I just like that kind of design. I like making championships look like they're something that I would want to win, that your average person wouldn't win. I got a problem with the WWE tag team titles right now because I wouldn't want to win those fucking things
with the fucking warrior helmets and shit.
Yeah. And then they keep calling, and then Michael Cole keeps calling it gold, and
it's like so.
Hold on.
Michael Cole, man. Yeah, you're right. See, I wish what I wish they would do, and it sounds corny, but like just go back to the old titles. Just bring them all back. Singing the Winged Eagle title, even the new WWE title I love. I know a lot of people don't really like that one, probably because I grew up with it. But that's like my favorite. I like the Intercontinental title, the new one, but I do see where maybe they could have done something quick. I'm gonna go over this promo really quick, and then we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come right back. So in this promo, The Rock says, I'm still standing here, and Faaroq, you show The Rock something that I should have seen for a long time ago. Faaroq, you are the reason why I am the Intercontinental Champion. I'm grateful, and tonight the Nation will be the strongest it's ever been. So he's telling Faaroq, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be champion. Tonight's gonna be different. So shit's gonna hit the fan. Something's gonna happen. We don't know what, but we're gonna come right back and tell you what that is. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And unfortunately, Josh had to leave. So I will be finishing up this episode solo today, but that is totally cool. We get back to the WWE Intercontinental Champion, The Rock and Faaroq, with the Nation of Domination taking on the team of the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman, and the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Couple of highlights. Shamrock takes control with a clothesline to Faaroq, and he punches The Rock in the corner on the apron. Blackman nails a drop kick to Faaroq and gets a 2 count. Faaroq nails a spine buster to Ken Shamrock. Faaroq goes to crawl to attack to The Rock, and The Rock says, "I'm out of here." And he and the Nation go up to the ramp and leave Faaroq alone in the ring. And then Ken Shamrock nails a belly to belly to Faaroq, and they get a 3 count win. So Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman get the win. After the match, Faaroq says, "I told you no boy grows up to be a man with me. Tonight, you're going to wear a good ass whooping." And then The Rock gets on Farouk's face. Rock and Faaroq start brawling in the ring. The two eventually get separated, and Faaroq grabs a mic and says it ain't over. The Rock then does an eyebrow salute, and the Nation attack Faaroq. The Rock then attacks as well. Rock goes, "You stupid piece of trash." The Rock is leader and ruler of the Nation of Domination. Take this back to Haiti, where your dumbass is from. And The Rock kicks Faaroq. So we are now starting to see the break away from Faaroq. Faaroq officially kicked out of the Nation. The Rock, Intercontinental Champion, being the leader of this new Nation of Domination. Looking back and seeing this, remember seeing him do the people's eyebrow for the first time. You're like, what is he doing? It definitely made sense. For weeks, the two of them have been going at it. You knew that eventually one of them was going to make the first move, and The Rock being the heel, of course he was going to do it. So The Rock and the Nation of Domination turns on Faaroq, kicks him out of the Nation, and he is gone. We then get a WWE rewind, and it's Pete Rose being tombstoned at WrestleMania by Kane. We then see DX come out to the ring, and that's Triple H in China. And Triple H says a lot can happen in 24 hours. Mike Tyson, I must have asked 1,000 times, is he with us? Are you sure? And what I heard was, don't worry, kid, he is with us. Triple H says, let me make decisions. Shawn Michaels, you dropped the ball, but I picked it up. I'll take care of the problems and I'll make decisions around here. This is the genesis of D-Generation X. I formed the DX army to take care of business. Triple H then goes on to say, when you start an army, the first thing you do is you look to your blood. You look to the clique. And that's when X-Pac comes out. Last time WWE fans have seen X-Pac at this point, they're either watching WCW where he was 6, that was his character name, or you remember him in WWE as the Lightning Kid, the 1-2-3 Kid, many other names. But X-Pac comes out, and Triple H and X-Pac hug, and Triple H says, when you've been an indentured servant for 2 years, you have stuff to say. Talk to them, kid. And then X-Pac grabs a mic and he says, I got something I got to get off my chest. I heard Hulk Hogan say I couldn't cut the mustard. Hulk, you suck, pal. You better not stop short or Eric Bischoff will go so far up your ass, he'll know what you have for breakfast. X-Pac says, I got a call from my best friend who says DX needs help. Kevin Nash and Scott Hall would be with us if they weren't held hostage in WCW. We are here to rip ass in the World Wrestling Federation, and it starts tonight. This is one of the first pipe bombs in WWE history. X-Pac talking about Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, obviously part of the rival promotion World Championship Wrestling. X-Pac just recently was fired. He comes to WWE, and now he is a part of D-Generation X, and they promise to raise hell tonight. I love this iteration of DX, and we'll talk more as the night progresses. So we then get the Slam of the Week presented by Bop It, and it is Sable delivering a Sable bomb to Luna last night at WrestleMania 14. They get a promo from Val Venus, and he's basically watching a porn, and he's just talking about himself and his body. And he goes, when I penetrate the WWE, ladies will be squealing in delight. Val Venus will definitely make a name for himself in the year of 1998, more to come from him, but very different pornish route WWE is going. We're starting to see the Attitude Era start sleeping, especially with Val Venus. See what I did there? Sleeping Val. All right. Next, we have the WWE Light Heavyweight Champion Taka Michinoku taking on Marvelous Mark Mero with Sable. Before the match starts, Luna Vachon comes out, and Luna says, I want a rematch, but I want a special match with you, Miss Sable. And Luna says, let me explain the stipulations. We're going to call this an evening gown match. And she goes, remember when I tore your pretty little gown off your pretty little body? At Unforgiven, the winner of the match will be the one with the most clothes on. I'm going to humiliate you because I'm going to strip you down to your bra and panties. That is if you wear them, you little slut. And then Sable gets the mic and says, I've already kicked your ass once and I'll do it again. Then the match starts and Taka nails a spinning heel kick. Mero nails a power bomb and body shots. Mero chokes Taka with the wrist tape and he ends up hitting a low blow and a TKO. And then after the match, a team of Kaientai, a group of Japanese wrestlers, attack Taka Michinoku from behind. Nobody is sure who they are or where they come from. Let's break down some of the elements that just happened here. So we now know that Unforgiven Luna has dropped the challenge to an evening gown match against Sable. Winner is the person with the most clothes on. Obviously, a lot of men, teens, whatever, are going to buy into this, seeing Sable. Everybody loves her at the time. She's a hot commodity to begin with. And everyone's a little bit more interested to see what else is going to happen between these two. Women weren't really a lot seen in WWE at the time. So seeing these two compete one-on-one and Unforgiven was very interesting. And many people probably pay top dollar to see that. And as far as the match goes, really wasn't much to it. Just Marvelous Mark Mero cheating to win. More important is Kaientai attacking. Kaientai had a group of members, Men's Teo, Dick Togo, and Funaki, along with Yamaguchi-san, who will debut next week. And these guys just attacked Taka Michinoku from behind. We don't know much about them. We do know they were part of the BWO Japan and Extreme Championship Wrestling, but now they are debuting in WWE. All right, moving right along, we have the NWA Tag Team titles on the line. The NWA Tag Team Champions, the Headbangers, defending against the new Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, Bodacious Bob, and Bombastic Bart. And before the match starts, Jim Cornette introduces Dan the Beast Severn. Severn is a former UFC champion, has fought Ken Shamrock numerous times. He is legit badass. So having Dan Severn on your side is a good thing. Bob attacks Thrasher to start, and the New Midnight Express land a rocket launcher, and they get a 3. Not a lot of action going in this match. After Jim Cornette then whispers something to Dan Severn, Dan nails a belly-to-belly and a double arm suplex to both Headbangers member, and then he applies a very cool-looking submission maneuver to Mosh. So Dan Severn just being dominant and being the muscle for NWA. Again, NWA will end pretty shortly, so seeing this was a little bit interesting, but we all know the fate of NWA. So it's interesting to see Dan Severn come, but there's more to the story. All right. Next, we have Kane and Paul Bearer coming out to the ring. Paul Bearer grabs a mic and Paul says, you are looking at your flesh and blood. The only man to kick out of your tombstone, not once, but twice. That cold heart that your body harbors. He beat you all over that ring, Undertaker. You cowered in the corner as your brother put his fist against your skull. I was proud, but I was also awoken at 2 a.m. with a dream. In that dream, I saw a wrestling ring. I saw a ring surrounded by fire. I saw Kane all alone. Undertaker, I challenge you to step into the fire and face your brother one more time. In order to win, either you or your brother will have to catch fire and Inferno Unforgiven in your house. So Paul Bearer laying down the challenge, the Undertaker and Inferno match. Now, we don't know at the time what an Inferno match is going to look like, so this is very intriguing. Obviously, these two had a decent match at WrestleMania. This storyline is a great storyline and really drives the Attitude Era forward. So I'm looking forward to see this match. All right, we're at our main event. The WWE Tag Team titles are on the line in a special steel cage match. The Tag Team Champions Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie taking on the former champions, the New Age Outlaws. And Jack and Charlie defeated the Outlaws last night at WrestleMania in a dumpster match. Now they're taking on each other in a steel cage. Here are some highlights from the match. Billy Gunn attacks Chainsaw Charlie's injured back, and Cactus Jack runs into Billy Gunn, who is trapped in the cage. Road Dogg chokes Chainsaw Charlie with a wrist tape, and then the New Age Outlaws handcuff Chainsaw Charlie to the cage. Cactus Jack hits a double arm DDT, and he catapults Billy Gunn into the cage. And then DX members run down, and X-Pac hits Cactus Jack with a steel chair 3 times. And then the New Age Outlaws nail a spike pile driver on a chair, and they get a 3 count, and they become your new WWF Tag Team Champions. After the match, D-Generation X gang up on Cactus Jack, and Triple H hits a pedigree on Cactus Jack, and then they taunt to close. So we now know that the WWF Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, X-Pac, and WWF European Champion Triple H alongside China make up the new DX, and they're calling it the DX Army. It is awesome to see the beginnings of this formation. As you know, I grew up during 2000 was when I really started watching it, so I knew the background, but seeing the formation again is really interesting, and it's great for any new fan to see how D-Generation X evolved throughout the years. Next week, we have a lot going on Raw. Our next episode is from April 6th, 1998, from Syracuse, New York. A lot is going to take place. We are on the road to Unforgiven in your house, and this was a excellent Raw is War. I definitely recommend checking this one out. And yeah, stay tuned for our next episode, which should be dropping on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So, well, actually, I'm sorry, I'm wrong about the time. I got my times all wrong here. It will be dropping on Wednesday at 10 a.m. So take a listen to that, Raw's War. And yeah, check out more Attitude Era episodes in the archives, which can be found by subscribing to us either on YouTube. You can hit the like button and the notification bell, search Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, and you can find us on YouTube. We're also available on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and wherever podcasts are available. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating. All right, y'all, stay safe, and I will see you for April 6th, 1998. Bye.